If you consider yourself a golf historian, this video is for you. We visited longtime Tremont friend Robbie Zalzneck at his Pinehurst home for a look inside his shed. But it's not a shed for rakes or storage bins. It's a space built by someone who spent 25 years with the USGA overseeing player services and collecting artifacts from the game's most meaningful moments, each one tied to a story worth telling. Among the thousands of items in Robbie's collection, we started with one that felt personal, the US Open at LACC. Christian had qualified as an amateur, and the whole Tremont team spent an unforgettable week in LA. And one of Robbie's favorite stories was about a Ted Lasso sign, a little bit of belief that just might have carried Wyndham to his first major win.
They're like, oh, we'll just do this. We put this sign above our door, and when Wyndham came in after he won, I saw him hit it, and I was like, oh, that's so awesome. You hit it. He's like, no, it's the day one we walked in there. We saw that, and I talked to my caddy every day that morning about that sign. It's like, we believe, so awesome. And he goes on to win. So it's just stuff like that. I think he spilled a little wine on it too. So
what started as working relationships became real friendships with jokes, banter, and a few legendary pranks.
First time it became kind of joke worthy was Harris English in the 14 US Open. He qualified, and we'd gotten all his stuff printed, and you send this all off, and it comes back next day, and all his stuff came back English Harris. So we got the locker plates, and the first day we left it English Harris. So sorry, we'll get it right tomorrow. We went from English Harris to Harry Englishman to Prince Harry of England. He loved it. He took him home. His mom framed all the stuff, and it just gave us the idea to kind of have fun. We started messing around with those guys, and I would put a courtesy car that wasn't the big SUV. We put just an electric scooter and put this sign that's like courtesy scooter for Justin Thomas. And he signed it, Robbie, you're a piece of blank, love Justin Thomas. So I kept that sign.
Even last year, I know I saw, there was like a little room outside the locker room that said like timeout area for Tyrell Hatton.
Yeah. And John Rahm comes by and he's like, dude, I belong on that sign. I'm going to need that timeout room. And so we'd started doing that several years. And, you know, John gave me his hat from when he won it at Torrey Pine. So that was the hat he was wearing.
Wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
For most of us, pro golfers exist through televised moments, but Robbie's decades in the field offered something deeper. He's witnessed the rise and fall of icons, the clash of tradition and change, and the moments that left the game forever different.
There's a lot of that. I mean, that's Bryson's locker plate. That was right when he went to Live, and Live was getting going, and he left it. And he was like, I'll see you next year, and more to come, great job. And then he's live it up, baby, LIV. But he came in and just, he really appreciated that we, at the time when it was getting, you know, uncomfortable between PGA Tour players and Live players, that we treated them all the same. And that's awesome. Commented on that, so that's why he left the locker plate that he signed.
One story that stands out is about character, when a costly caddy mistake took away a shot at one of golf's most coveted titles.
His caddy in his semifinal match?
Quarters, I think it was.
Quarterfinal match against Strafacci, his caddy brushed sand, and they were tied on 18, and he was in the bunker short of the green, and his caddy went in and like brushed the sand.
Yeah.
And Segundo didn't tell him to do it, didn't ask him to do it, but the caddy just did it. Tyler saw it and was like, you can't do that. Yeah. This is 18, we're tied, like you just lost the hole and therefore lost the match. So Segundo basically got knocked out because of something his caddy did.
The whole thing, it could have gone so many different ways, but Segundo was so awesome about it. But I had made that t-shirt literally that night in Bandon Dunes, and we were all wearing it the next day.
How'd you find a t-shirt shop in Bandon Dunes?
We have people.
For the diehard golf fans, the shed's packed with Walker Cup memories, a prestigious amateur event between the US and GB&I. And without a doubt, they're some of the memories Robbie holds closest to heart.
So I did 10 Walker, 05 through 23 at St. Andrews. So
awesome.
Yeah.
I love the classic Walker Cup hat, just the big W.
The big W. First time President Bush came is when we got the idea to do the W and wore the hat with them. In the press room, someone asked, I think it was Nick Dunlap, what the W stands for. Are you guys being cocky? Was the kind of the intent of the question, and answered correctly was, no, it stands for the Walker Cup, and we interacted with President Bush and wore it in respect to him. So perfect answer, but then after we won, all the guys wanted to wear them. That's Sunday night, so
Yeah, I guess it has
we let them,
twofold
but
purpose.
Yeah.
Robbie gave us his time and a front row seat to a shed full of golf history. Arnold Palmer stories, the heart he stuck on Rickie's bag before that 62, jokes on Paul Casey, P. Reed snapping a club, and that one Walker Cup where everyone got sick. It was all gold. And when you step into Robbie's world, you realize golf's greatest stories don't always happen on the course. There are plenty of sports memorabilia collectors, but what makes Zalzneck's shed stand out is that every item tells a story. It's a personal museum of nostalgia, marking 25 years of travel, late nights, and life behind the scenes at some of golf's biggest tournaments.
As my wife would tell you, I never throw anything away, so I just kept saving stuff and had it in boxes, and this literally was our shed where our lawnmower was, and we did a house renovation about 5 years ago, and we actually made it into a little office that I could do a lot of stuff up that brings back fond memories.